Hello, I'm Brian Clark, editor with the Modesto Bee, and welcome to tonight's 2020 General Election Forum featuring the candidates running for Turlock City Council Districts 2 and 4. In District 2 are Gil Esquer, Rebecka Monez, and Reuben Wagner. In District 4, Pam Franco and Robert Puffer. Moderating tonight's forum will be the opinions editor, Garth Stapley. He'll be joined by members of the editorial board, managing editor Patty Guerra, Maria Figueroa, the Bee's information and research specialist, and myself. Garth, take it away.
All right, well, thank you for joining us. We're excited to hear from these Turlock candidates. Although there are two specific and distinct races, we are combining all candidates into one forum, and we appreciate you being here. Let's get started with opening statements. And we'll go in order, and we'll start with Mr. Gil Esquer. You get 1 minute each.
Okay, great. Thank you. My name is Gil Esquer. I'm a lifelong resident of Turlock, California. Lived on the west side all my life. Met and married my wife here in Turlock. Raised our daughter in Turlock. Been on the council for 4 years now, and that's pretty much me.
Very good. Although we always go in alphabetic order, we find that it might be more helpful this time if we keep you as together as we can. So we're going to ask Rebecka Monez. I just say this because Franco comes right after Esquer, right? But not this time. We're going to ask Rebecka Monez to go next, and then Reuben Wagner after that, and then we'll have the candidates for District 4. So, Rebecka.
Sure, thank you. I'm Rebecka Monez. I'm running for Turlock City Council District 2. I was raised here on the west side. My parents moved us here when I was 5 years old. And my parents still pastor a church here on the west side today. They have for the past 26 years. My whole family's here. And you know, I don't consider myself a politician. I've never ran for politics before. This is my first time. But what I do is I solve problems for a living. And I just want to be an advocate for District 2 and the west side and see if I can help solve some of the problems that Turlock is having as a city. And I want to give a voice to the west side because we haven't had one in a very long time. And that's why I'm here.
Thank you very much. And Reuben Wagner, please.
Thank you very much. Reuben Wagner, born and raised in Manteca, California, just up the road, and moved down here with then girlfriend and now wife about 13 years ago. Been living here on the west side for 12 or 13 of those times here. Just love this area. I served 6 years in the California Air National Guard. I am a volunteer firefighter here with a local volunteer fire district. I hold the rank of captain with them and have been doing that for 12 years now. And like Rebecka, I'm not a politician. I just want to be a voice also, because I think we needed one on this side of town, and see what we can do to fix what we can and make things better.
Thank you very much. And those are your candidates for District 2. Now for District 4, Pam Franco.
Hi, excuse me, I'm Pam Franco, running for Turlock City Council District 4. I am a Turlock lifer. I went to school here, raised my family here. I have most of my grandchildren that are being raised here. 30 years experience in owning my own business, real estate, accounting fields. And I feel like I can bring some sound ideas to help solve Turlock's concern. My main focuses are going to be fully funding and supporting the fire and police departments, fixing our streets, and not just the major ones. That also includes our neighborhood streets, and supporting existing and trying to get some new businesses here in Turlock. I understand our community. I'm fiscally responsible, and I feel like I have the necessary experience to help make the tough decisions Turlock needs. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. And Mr. Robert Puffer?
Hi, my name's Bob Puffer. Moved to Turlock in 1966, the ripe old age of 9. So I graduated from the city schools and Cal State Stanislaus with a degree in accounting. I've lived here since 1987. I have attended city council meetings and planning commission meetings for the last 6 years and kind of watched a deterioration in the revenues of the city. And I thought all was lost until the last council came in and they made some long overdue changes. And and since Becky Ariano decided not to run, I want to be part of that council. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's get into some questions. Patty?
Okay, so for our first question, we will start with the District 4 candidates. This is a 30-second answer question. If you were in charge of marketing Turlock, what's the first thing you'd tell people about why they should live here? And we'll start with Ms. Franco.
Okay. Turlock is a wonderful place to live. We have a great university here in Stanislaus, Cal State Stanislaus. We have wonderful businesses. We have amazing parks. We have amazing people here. And I can't stress enough how much I love this city and how connected I am to this community. And I think everyone should love it just as much as me.
Thank you. Mr. Puffer, what's the first thing you tell people about why they should live here?
I think despite all of our problems, I think Turlock has as good an upside for a business as anywhere in California. We have very reasonable utilities, wonderful climate, pretty good school system, and a university, as has been mentioned. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Esquer.
Well, Turlock, we've been known as the gem of the city, and it's no accident. I mean, the gem of the county and the valley, because everybody wants to live in Turlock. We have a little bit of work to do in our business section, but we need to be a little bit more friendly, business friendly. But we're working on that. That's process. It's in process. Our downtown redevelopment is phenomenal. They've done a great job down there. We have the university. It took many years, but now we have a good partnership with the university. So it's not two different communities anymore. We're united. We're working together. That's a plus for Turlock. And so, yeah, I think if you talk to the businesses that are already here, that have come here recently, every one of them will say, yeah, they love Turlock. We've been good to work with, and they want to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. And Ms. Monez.
Thank you. So what I would tell people about Turlock is that we're a very quiet community. We're a very safe community. We have great schools here in Turlock. We have more churches per capita in Turlock than most places around us. And it's just a very safe place to live. We have historic downtown Turlock that has your small boutique type of shops to shop at. But we also have big box stores up on the north end of town at Monte Vista Crossings. And then, of course, there is the university, which is beautiful, and we have very good parks that are very well taken care of by our city. It's just a great place to be.
Thank you. Finally, Mr. Wegner.
Well, for me, it's the small town feel. I love that we're that small town farming community. Everyone pretty much knows everyone around here. That's one thing I did like about Manteca growing up there. But unfortunately, Manteca's gotten all the Bay Area traffic now. And this is what Turlock is. Turlock is that small town. And it's just awesome, especially being a volunteer firefighter, being out in the community. Again, just like everyone else is saying, beautiful parks, the Stan State, wonderful downtown. It's just a great place to be.
Thank you very much. Okay. Candidates, Measure A on the November ballot would increase sales tax by 3/4 cent to boost revenue that's badly needed for City Hall. This comes, however, as many people are struggling with the loss of jobs and family income because of the COVID pandemic. Do you support or oppose Measure A? We'll ask for 30-second answers, and we'll start with Mr. Puffer.
I fully support Measure A. I think the passage of Measure A is probably the most important item on the November ballot for people who live in Turlock. If Measure A fails, it won't matter who your city council is. They're pretty much just going to have to gut everything and go on. If Measure A passes, it gives the council some working capital to start making the changes that everybody wants to see as far as police and fire and the roads. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Franco.
Measure A, as far as my ability to pay it, my ability is different from everybody else's ability to pay it. So I want the citizens of Turlock to decide for themselves. Do you want to pay extra on your sales tax or do you not? If they do, then I absolutely think it's the city council's responsibility to make sure that it's spent in exactly the manner that it calls for in the actual measure description. And if they don't want it, then it's going to be our council's responsibility to find the funding elsewhere.
Thank you. District 4 candidates. Ms. Monez.
Yeah, so, Garth, the city council is a nonpartisan race, and I'm really not comfortable taking a side as to, I know what the measure is about. Yes, I can afford to pay the sales tax increase. But that's not really what this is about for me. The voters need to decide Measure A. And I say that because the city can use the money for sure. Okay. But there's support for this measure. There's opposition to this measure. The bottom line is the voters of Turlock are going to decide what it's going to be. And I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. Mr. Wegner.
I guess I'm not as politically correct as my fellow candidates. I am not for it. I am against or opposed to it in the sense that, yes, I do understand that there is money needed for the city, and it is our job as council members, council candidates, to try to figure out what we can do to fix that. But for me, it's kind of, where's the money going? So it goes into the general fund. That's one of the biggest things for me. Okay, unless it's manned correctly, we're not able to necessarily give the money to where it needs to go. And that's just my take on that.
Thank you. Mr. Esquer.
Yes, I do support the measure, and yeah, and it is most definitely in the hands of the voter. That's why we gave him the option. At this point, this council has done everything we could. We've cut everything we can cut. The next, if this doesn't pass, we're going to have to go back to and scrap more. There's nothing left. We've gone down. We've asked every director to do whatever they could to come down. We passed a balanced budget that we knew was not sustainable. So Turlock wants better service. We definitely have to pass Measure A. That's the only way we're going to get the money to do it.
Thank you. Maria?
Okay, well, coming off of that question, if the sales tax increase does not pass, the council would be forced to reduce expenses or find other sources of revenue. What would be your plan of action? And we'll start with Mr. Wegner.
All right, thank you, Maria. My plan of action is kind of what this last council did, and this is kind of that catch-22 for us. It's to work hand in hand with our staff to figure out if there is anything else that we can negate or move around. Then it would be very, very difficult to do. There you go.
Same, Mr. Esker.
Close to the answer. The staff, the directors, and they've gone through the budget. They've gone through every line item. There is no fluff. There's nothing left to cut. So I just have to say, if we don't pass this measure, which employees do you want to say sorry, you don't have a job anymore.
Okay, same question, Ms. Monez.
Sure, thank you. So, if Measure A doesn't pass, we're going to have to make tough decisions and cut elsewhere. There's also in-house positions within the city that could be outsourced. Turlock has, I believe, a $44 million a year budget to work within. And I would think for a city of our size, we could do better with where we're at. Unfortunately, as a private citizen, we're not privy to closed session stuff within the council meetings, so we don't get quite as much information as the council members do. But I look forward to seeing that and taking that on, because obviously budget is a serious issue for Turlock right now. Thank you.
Okay, and same question, Ms. Franco.
We're going to need to revitalize our existing businesses. If Measure A doesn't pass, we're going to have to do whatever we can to help our current businesses come back strong. We've got to look for new businesses so we can have a new tax base. We are going to have to work with the staff and make some cuts. That's going to be obvious. And we do need to look at outsourcing, like Ms. Monez said. We have the ability to outsource some of our services. So we need to look and have an open mind and make some tough decisions if Measure A doesn't pass.
Okay, thank you. And finally, Mr. Puffer.
If Measure A does not pass, the city doesn't have enough cash to make it through another year without drastically reducing employees. And in the last two budget rounds, they got rid of unfunded positions, so they didn't really cut employees. The fire and the police, for example, are about the same staffing levels that they were 6 years ago. Their overtime's been cut, but the staffing level is the same. That won't happen if Measure A fails to pass, because there's no way to raise any kind of income to pay those expenses as quickly as that measure would do. Thank you.
Okay, this next question, it's a 30-second answer. We'll start with District 4. We'll go back to Mr. Puffer first. In surveys conducted in February and June, about 70% of polled residents said repairing Turlock streets and potholes was extremely or very important to them. Given the financial constraints, how would you prioritize road repairs throughout the city? 30 seconds.
Well, that's the one place with Measure L money that we actually have the funding, but we're kind of short on engineering staff to get the preliminary work done for the roads. I think the present council has done a pretty good job of prioritizing the roads. One in particular that I'd like to see fixed is Golden State Boulevard between Christopherson to Taylor Road, because it's a washboard out there and we have an awful lot of commuters every day heading to Modesto and having to drive the cars over it. That would probably be my first priority to fix. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Franco?
We're going to have to start putting our heads together and coming up with a plan to fix our interior streets as well as our major streets, because our citizens have told us they want their streets fixed, not just major streets. We do have Measure L money, and we need to make sure that we spend it accordingly. We need to have a plan with the citizens of Turlock. What do you want fixed first? And we need to move on from there. We need to fix our roads. They are a mess.
Thank you. Let's move on to District 2, Ms. Monez.
Yes, thank you. So, it's not about districts when it comes to the roads for me. I think we need to take a look at fixing the roads that are in the worst condition right now. And it may not be a major road, but the roads that are in the worst shape need to go first, because we do have very terrible roads right now. Thank you.
Mr. Esquer?
Yeah, thank you. A few months ago, well, actually, it started about a year ago. I started pushing to bring the original Measure L road fixtures back onto the agenda, and we changed it so we're prioritizing residential roads at this point. The projects are in line. We're supposed to have 20 different residential roads fixed this year. Unfortunately, like Bob said, we're short on contractors to get the work done. The Measure L money is there. We just need someone to do the work. The plan is already established.
Thank you. And finally, Mr. Wegner.
All right, thank you, Brian. Yeah, just kind of saying what everyone else is saying. Our roads are pretty horrible, and we do need to prioritize and get that plan together to jump on the worst roads. And again, like Ms. Monez said, it's not just districts; it's the whole city. We all drive in different parts of this city and use all the different roads. I got friends up in the north side, District 3 and 4 area that I go visit all the time, and my truck's bouncing all over the place. So, I mean, it's not just one area, but we do need to get that plan together.
Thank you.
Thank you. So this next question is a minute long. You have a minute long to answer. And we will start with the District 2 candidates. Opponents of Measure A have argued we should not let local pride stand in the way of serving Turlock citizens. What are your thoughts on regionalizing fire services or contracting with the Sheriff's Department for police services? Mr. Wegner.
So this one is a tricky one for me, only because I am a volunteer firefighter and not with the city of Turlock. But for me, I don't see us needing to having to regionalize. I've been a part of the fire departments in Stanislaus County and have seen a couple mergers happen and fail. And it's just not good. It was too many people trying to get too much money for services not necessarily being rendered. And so instead of getting into that kind of contest, it's better for us to keep it in-house. Let's get our guys hired on. Let's get them the training that they need, both police and fire, and not push it out and try to work with others in mutual aid systems, because we already have that in place. So instead of regionalizing it, let's just work better with our mutual aid partners and go from there.
Thank you. Ms. Monez, same question.
Yes, ma'am. So, you know, Mr. Wegner just said it. It's always better to stay inside if you can and not have to go to the outside. I think right now with the current state of affairs, I think our fire department is a lot worse off than our police department to some degree. And that's a tough thing to say because our officers and our firefighters work very hard. And I know they're very proud at what they do. They just don't have the funding to put them at the levels that they should be at. I'm not opposed to a regional merger. But before before we go off and make a decision like that, I would want to speak to our officers and to our firefighters. We need to talk to the people on the ground first before we go and take an action such as this.
Thank you. Mr. Esquer.
Actually, we looked at the regionalization for the police department and the fire department probably a little over a year ago. And the information that we received did not save us any money. It was going to cost Turlock more. So we said, well, nope, we're not going there. So the current council you have in there right now, we're willing to look and talk about anything that's going to make Turlock better. So if you show us a plan that's going to make something better, hey, we're there to listen, and we'll do what we need to do. But as of this point, no one has showed us a better plan that's going to save Turlock money. So far, the plans that have come forward are more expensive.
Thank you. Now over to the District 4 candidates. Mr. Puffer.
It would take an awful lot for me to think about regionalizing our police and fire. Unlike others here, I don't necessarily believe that outsourcing ever really gains you that much if you have a good, efficient running department. I think more we need to figure out a way to raise revenue in Turlock to pay for better services, fire, police, and city hall and everything else, rather than wanting to combine with other outside services. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Ms. Franco.
without Measure A money, we are not going to be able to sustain our current levels of service without looking at some different ways of doing things. I'm not opposed to looking into some mergers. The ends are going to have to justify the means, though, because we have great departments. We have a great police department. We have a great fire department. If it makes sense and it saves money and it gives us better service, then absolutely, we should absolutely look at it. It's going to take some time. We need to talk to the officers. We need to talk to the fire department. We need to talk to the citizens, because this isn't just 5 people's decision. This is 75,000 people's decision. And we need to do what the people of Turlock want. If they want us to move forward without Measure A money, then we're going to have to look at a lot of different ways in order to meet their service needs.
Okay, thank you. This next question is a 30-second question, and we'll start with you, Ms. Franco. Of the proposals addressing homelessness in the West Side Revitalization Plan, what services would you prioritize and why?
Homeless is an issue that it's multifaceted. The majority of the problem is people are dependent on substance and they have mental problems. So we're going to need to look into mental health services and looking into drug rehabilitation before we can solve any problems. And I don't know that we'll ever be able to solve the homeless problem, but with those 2 things, that would be my first objective, would be to look into mental health services and drug rehabilitation.
Okay, thank you. Same question, Mr. Puffer.
I would prioritize getting the social worker out there and also making sure the people are getting their meds on time. I think once they get a sound mind and they've got someone out there who's advocating for them, trying to help improve their situation, I think that they'll be more than willing to go with the next measures. Thank you.
Okay, same question, Ms. Monez.
Yes. So, the 2 biggest issues amongst the homeless population is the underlying issue of mental health and substance use disorder, and we have to get those under control. We also do need social workers involved so that we can put case plans in place for these folks to help ensure their success. And then the last thing we need to do is keep in mind that there are some homeless people that are perfectly content being that way, and they don't want to change the way they are, and that's okay too. It is a multifaceted issue. I agree with Ms. Franco. I don't know that we'll ever be able to solve it, but we can at least work at it, and I believe we can do better than we are now.
Okay, thank you. Same question, Mr. Esquer.
Yeah, as far as the homeless, like as they said, it is a multi-tiered problem. It is not one group that's out there. You have the mental disorders, you have the drug issues, you have the family that for some traumatic event just lost their home. They might still have a job, but they're living in their car because they can't afford a house. So those are the things that I'm looking at, and that's my priority, is to identify who can we help first.
Thank you. And finally, Mr. Wegner.
All right, thank you, Maria. This one kind of retouches home for me. I was a code enforcement officer for the city for 2.5 years here just recently, and I worked hand in hand with our homeless. I was out there daily talking to them and working with them in their situation. And as Ms. Monez said, it's a lot of them don't even want the help, and they're not willing to take it. But for me, the priority is, especially being in the trenches with them and seeing it, it's the drug addiction and mental issues. And so those are the 2 that we need to take care of.
Thank you. Candidates, this next question, we're going to go back up to 60-second answers. You'll have a little bit more time. Over the past few months, dozens of residents have called into council meetings requesting that some police funds be reallocated to youth and mental health services. And many others have called for increasing police funding and hiring more officers. Which course of action do you favor and why? And we'll start with District 4 candidates, Mr. Puffer.
Yeah, when those calls came in, most of them were trying to tie a certain percentage of the general fund to police funding. And I don't believe in tying down any council to a specific percentage for any department. I think you need to trust in your council members to allocate the revenues to the best of their abilities to where it needs to go. And let's just go with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Franco?
Yes, I believe that we need to fund the police department more, not less. I know that there were a lot of calls that came in. Over 70% of those calls were in favor of the police. We've had to cut a lot of services that the police have done in the past. And we need to really put those back into play, because some of those are things like compliance checks for parolees. They're the Blue Santa, the homeless outreach team. Those are all very, very important programs, and we need to find ways to fund the police. I know our mayor went to Washington, D.C. and found a grant that will give us 4 extra police officers. So there's funding out there. We need to find it.
Thank you. Now, District 2 candidates, Mr. Wegner.
Yes, I totally agree. We need to find more funding for the police. Again, with being code enforcement, I was working hand in hand with our officers, and they're tired, they're stressed, and we need to do what we can do to get them the stuff that they need. We, like Ms. Franco said, we have cut a bunch of services or dwindled down the units, like the core unit, the community outreach and engagement unit used to go out downtown on overtime, take care of homelessness, work with the business owners downtown to see what they needed help with. They have the proposal of a neighborhood resource officer, kind of doing the same thing now, something we need to look into to get funded, and just kind of beef up services that we have.
Thank you. Ms. Monez?
Sure. So the police department does need more funding. We have 31, if I'm not mistaken, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we have 31 open police officer spots right now today. And it's not just staffing where the police department is short. And an example of that is their budget is so short and tight, National Night Out has been canceled for next month. And that saddens me, because that is a true event for the community to come together with law enforcement and have some camaraderie going on. And we can't do that. So yes, the police department needs more funding, not less.
Thank you. Councilman Esquer?
I have never been in favor of reducing any of the public safety funding. What the cuts that were made were all pretty much overtime. There are positions throughout the city that we haven't been able to fill, but that's, again, it's a revenue issue. We need the money. I want more boots on the ground. We need more boots on the ground. Police, fire, our finance department. We've got one person, sometimes 2 in our finance department. Oakdale has 5. So our whole city is hurting. Our staff is all being overworked, and we need to treat everybody in the city equally. We need to make sure all our positions are funded to where they should be, and every department is running efficiently. So that's what I want. That's why I'm after this revenue, and that's why I think people need to make sure that this revenue measure passes. Thank you.
Thank you. This next question is a 30-second, so a short answer question. And we will start with the District 2 candidates. What ideas do you have for repurposing the former armory on Flower Street? Mr. Esquer.
Okay. Boy, I've been chasing this puppy for 4 years, okay? And what my original vision was some kind of a community center. It's got a hall big enough we could do city league volleyball, basketball. There's a rental facility. It could be turned into a rental facility. It's large enough for a internet access for low-income people anywhere in town. Many don't have internet, and right now with COVID, a lot of them are finding out how important it is to have the Wi-Fi and the internet service. That could have been built in there. It's a large building, lots of potential. I just want to make sure the city didn't sell it off like we sold off all our other buildings, to where now we have no assets left. And then they use the money on the sale for the buildings on a one-time fix instead of trying to redistribute the money.
Thank you.
Sorry, I never saw the timer.
Ms. Moon.
Yes, you know, it's a toss-up when I talk to our residents. So a lot of people want to keep the Armory as a hall for rental for family events and wedding receptions and whatnots. And then there's the folks that would like to turn it into a homeless shelter. And then there's the folks that would like to see the assets sold and take the money from that to bring Columbia Pool up to code. So it's a three-way tie right about now amongst the residents of District 2.
Thank you. Mr. Wegner.
For me, it would be either making it a hall that we can rent out, or truly, I'd like to see a community center on this side of town for all our residents here in District 2. I think it'd be a good opportunity and now granted COVID is going on, so school's up in the air, but after school programs and just getting the kids a place that they can go and hang out, like Councilmember Esquer said, have an internet access point, have something like that is set up so they can come in and relax for a little bit.
Sorry, Ms. Franco.
All right. You know, I think that because this building and this property is in District 2, they need to come up with the ideas and then bring them to the other districts so we can understand what they want in their district. I am not opposed to selling the property if that makes sense. I love the idea of a hall or a community center, and I think that the citizens in District 2 need to be very vocal about what they want so the rest of us can help make that decision.
Thank you. Mr. Puffer.
I think that having a basketball court, and there's a basketball court in that armory, is something that a city could never afford to build in this day and age. And it would be an absolute shame to give that up. Two things. If Measure A passes and there's funds available, I'd love to see the community center be rehabbed, and you know, you could have basketball and hockey leagues and stuff like that running, and it's midnight things for the kids to do. If Measure A doesn't pass, you might as well sell it because they'll be able to get the money to rehab it. Thank you.
Thank you. This next question is a 30-second question. And coming off of actually Ms. Monez mentioned it about how some of the money would maybe used. The Parks and Recreation Director said that staff will not pursue grant funding to benefit Columbia Pool like initially announced. What might be done to prevent the permanent closure of Columbia Pool? And we'll start with Mr. Puffer.
That's going to have to take not just the District 2, but everybody in Turlock coming together and self-funding the repairs. And, you know, you're talking probably close to $3 million in repairs or $6 million to really build a state-of-the-art pool out there. But it'd have to come from the private. A lot of it will have to come from the private sector if Measure A does not pass. If Measure A does pass, then there might be some seed money there to pursue other funding opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you. Same question, Ms. Franco.
Columbia Pool is a Turlock icon. I swam there as a kid. I spent many summers in Columbia Pool. I think it's a treasure, and I think we need to do what we need to do to save it. Now, that said, there are a lot of different things that we can do. Private sector things, public sector things. Obviously, we don't think we're going to be able to get a grant, but there are ways to fix our pool. And I think that we need to really put our heads together and work on those, and not just accept that it's going to take $6 million, because I think it could be done for less.
Thank you. Okay, same question, Ms. Monez?
Yeah, Ms. Figueroa, would you please repeat the question?
Of course. The Parks and Recreation Director said staff will not pursue grant funding to benefit Columbia Pool, like initially announced. What might be done to prevent the permanent closure of Columbia Pool?
Right. Okay, so, the first place we need to start is we need a real estimate on what it's going to take to bring Columbia Pool up to code. The residents of the West Side are not asking for a new $6 million pool, because believe me, they would be just as happy with getting the current pool, just being able to be opened again. And so that's why I mentioned selling the armory. Not that I'm a fan of selling off city assets, but that is one option that we would have. I don't think it's a $6 million project. I don't think it's a $3 million project. But in order to make an accurate assessment of which way we want to go with it, we do need to know what the real numbers are to get it to where it needs to be.
Okay, thank you. Same question, Mr. Wegner?
Like Ms. Monez said, yes, we need a definite answer on price tag. Once we get that, we can make better decisions. But it is a staple here on the West Side. That pool is filled every day, all summer long. As long as it's allowed to be open, that pool has people, kids, everyone swimming in it. So it's something that we really need to do to get it up to code. Maybe make it a little bit fancy. If we can figure something out, we can go out, fundraise, do something. We could probably get public step in and help with getting some money in from these larger businesses that we have here in town.
Thank you. And Mr. Esquer?
Absolutely. We're going to do anything and everything we can to save Columbia Pool. We're not going to let it go. I've got several people that are already ready to move. All we need is the final determination for the report from the ad hoc committee and to see what their suggestions are. But whatever their suggestion is, it's going to be fought by the people of the West Side, because generations of people have been swimming in that pool since 1957. And yeah, we're not going to let it go. We're going to do whatever it takes to save that pool.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, this next question may only require a few seconds each, so we'll ask for sort of rapid responses. Both candidates in the race for Congressional District 10, Josh Harder, the incumbent, and Ted House, are from Turlock. Which one do you support? Mr. Esquer.
Josh Harder, without a doubt.
Thank you. Ms. Monez.
I'm going to decline to state on that, Garth. It's a nonpartisan race, and I just would like to keep it that way.
Thank you. Mr. Wegner.
For me, it would be Mr. House. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Franco.
I believe that the people of our district should decide, not with any influence from me whatsoever. I'll work with either gentleman. I believe that our position as city council people is nonpartisan, and so I would like to see the people decide.
Thank you. Mr. Puffer.
It is a nonpartisan race, but there's a Josh Harder sign in my yard.
Thank you.
Okay, this next question. Okay. Next question, 30-second answer, and we'll start in District 4 with Ms. Franco. Should the city do more to enforce COVID safety rules among its businesses?
I think the city of Turlock has done pretty well with the COVID. We did pass a $1,000 fine if businesses didn't comply. And to my knowledge, we have not even issued one of those fees or fines. I think that Turlock has done a pretty good job educating our businesses, and now we need to help them with getting going again, getting their businesses back up and running.
Thank you. Mr. Puffer.
If you're going to have a fine, you should probably enforce it, but we don't have enough staff or police presence or whatever to enforce it. Thank you.
Do you feel there's something to enforce?
I would like to see it enforced better, but it's not going to be. It's just not manpower to do it.
Thanks. Let's go to District 2, Ms. Monez.
Yeah, you know, Ms. Franco's right. The city did pass that ordinance. I think Turlock's done a pretty good job with the COVID restraints. And, you know, the police department had budget issues before COVID, and now with COVID, there's even a bigger strain on them. I'm not quite sure what more they could do aside from having more officers on the street.
And Mr. Wegner.
Like everyone, just kind of repeating everyone else. I think we've done a pretty good job at stepping in. I work in emergency management right now and have been directly related to this COVID response. And I really think that Turlock has done a great job in stepping up and taking care of what they need to take care of. There are still a few people that may not be listening and following through with what they need to. But unfortunately, with the code enforcement team that is out there right now, I don't think they have enough staff if they even had to go in there and enforce to be able to enforce.
Thank you. And finally, Mr. Esquer.
Yeah, I think we've been doing the best we can with what we have to work with. Our goal from the beginning, even with the fine implemented, our goal has always been educate, educate, and educate. So we're not in favor of just walking into somebody's business. For whatever reason out there, the city council in Turlock is not anti-business, okay? We don't want to see anybody shut down. So our goal is educate, educate, educate. And, you know, you get to the point where you may have to enforce, okay, well, the law is there, and if it's necessary, you know, so be it. But there's going to be plenty of warnings before anything like that ever happens.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. So we've actually come to our last question before closing statements. And this is a rapid response question. It shouldn't take too long. We'd like to know each of your personal approach to wearing a mask in public during the COVID pandemic. We'll start with Mr. Esquer.
Enough said.
Okay. Mr. Wegner.
I have my mask if I'm out by myself or with the wife. I don't necessarily wear it, but the second we go into stores, because that's their policy, then we make sure that we put it on, and that way we take care of our citizens.
Thank you. Ms. Monez.
Mr. Esquer showed it best. Be kind and wear your mask.
Thank you. Mr. Puffer.
I try and wear my mask at all times, and I'm in a store, obviously. Quite frankly, when I'm in my car, I'm not wearing a mask. And my son's just bought me a big box of masks because I can't ever remember where I put the last one.
Thank you. Ms. Franco.
I wear a mask when I go to the store. I wear a mask when I go into the outdoor restaurants. I don't wear a mask in my car. And one of the things that I'm handing out as campaign handouts are masks.
Okay, thank you very much, candidates. We've arrived at the time for closing statements. We'll do it in reverse order from the order that we had for opening statements. That means we'll start with Mr. Puffer.
I am Bob Puffer. I'm running for City Council, District 4, City of Turlock. You can catch me at votepuffer.com. My Facebook is Robert Puffer for Council. My Instagram is Bob Puffer 2020. I think the overwhelming issue is revenue. Anything and everything that we've talked about tonight costs and takes money, and Turlock has none. Immediately, we do need Measure A to pass because nobody said any way or any other way that they're going to get immediate funding that's needed faster than what Measure A can. And long term, we need to make sure we have the employees in place to facilitate new businesses and existing businesses to do better in Turlock. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Ms. Franco.
Again, I'm Pam Franco, running for Turlock City Council District 4. I'm a native of Turlock. I grew up here, raised my family here. Now most of my grandkids are being raised here. I think Turlock is an amazing place to live. I also believe that together we can help make it even better. I can't undo past mistakes. I can't undo missteps or poor decisions. But what I can do is offer to help shape Turlock's future into the best Turlock it can be. I'm endorsed by the Turlock Associated Police Officers and the Turlock Firefighters Association. They endorse me because my #1 concern is public safety, the police and fire departments that serve Turlock. Turlock has many issues to be addressed, and together I believe that we have the ability to fix our issues. So please vote for me, Pam Franco, Turlock City Council District 4, and Turlock, let's get started on this.
Thank you very much. Reuben Wagner.
Again, Reuben Wagner, running City Council District 2 for Turlock. Been here for 13 years now. Love living here in Turlock. Love that small town feel. For me, it's public safety, and then public safety. Along with that, some roads, some lights, some more safety for our constituents here in the town, not just in our district, but for the whole town. And if you want to get a hold of me, you can Facebook Wegner for District 2, Instagram Wegner for District 2. And again, when it comes November, please look for Reuben Wagner on the ballot, and hopefully you check that box. Thank you.
Thank you. Rebecka Monez.
Thank you. You know, I'm not a politician, folks. I'm just a problem solver. I'm an attorney, and that's what attorneys do all day is solve problems. And Turlock's got a lot of problems right now. I'm very proud to say that I'm endorsed by the Turlock Associated Police Officers and by Turlock Professional Firefighters Local 2434. And if you're looking for my position on something and you didn't see it here on this forum tonight, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Rebecka Monez for Turlock CC. And lastly, I just want to thank you to the Modesto Bee for putting this on and giving the candidates a forum. This was so important because we didn't have this ability until you guys came along with this. So thank you very much, Modesto Bee. Appreciate you all.
Thank you. And Councilman Gilliscare.
Hello, my name is Gil Escare. I've been here for all my life in Turlock. I've been on the council for the last 4 years. As a council member, we managed to maintain a balanced budget for the first time in countless years. We're securing safe drinking water for the next 50-odd years. Turlock is currently the only city in the county still building affordable housing. We definitely need to save Columbia Pool. I'm still looking for the district to come up and help me find a way to best utilize the armory. We need to secure the revenue. Please, it's very important. Do your homework. Don't take my word for it. Don't take anybody's word for it. Do your homework. Check it out. You want better service? We need Measure A passed. Please, my name is Gil Escare. I'm here. I plan to be here. I'll keep working for you. Vote Gil Escare. You can find me at gilforturlock@gmail.com or Gil for City Council on Facebook. Thank you very much. Thank you, Modesto Bee, for all you've done.
Thank you, all candidates. This concludes tonight's candidates forum for 2 seats on the Turlock City Council representing Districts 2 and 4. We genuinely appreciate the candidates discussing these issues with the Modesto Bee and the viewers for tuning in. Viewers, be sure to tune in for more debates here at modbee.com up until the November 3rd election. Also available for viewing at modbee.com are forums we did with candidates for Modesto Mayor, for the 3 open Modesto City Council seats, as well as races for 2 Stanislaus County Supervisor seats, for State Senate, and for Series Mayor. And next week, we will have a debate between 3 candidates for Patterson Mayor, and we will post a campaign interview with Congressman Josh Harder. Thank you and good evening.